What's good, Pack Nation? And give you all a little bit of time to get in here. How y'all doing? How you doing? Oh man, already with the questions. Look, what is the good news? I don't necessarily have good news. We're gonna talk about some stuff though. All right. Golden Heart, what's up? MPLS, hello. James, any portal news yet? Wolfpack, for the Wolfpack, regards to future players, I haven't heard any. But I want to talk about some of that and who I potentially would want to see out of what I'm hearing. Let's just see potentially what we can get. If the NIL budget is going to be around the 12 to 14, then we should have our pick. I'm not really stressing it at this point, but let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the result of the NCAA tournament, right? So we had the bracket. Pull this up, get this out the way. So, we had Abe the Champ be the winner. I will tell you all, this is one of my friends, and he does happen to be a Carolina fan, which is terrible. But other than that, he's a pretty good guy. I'm not sure who the other two people are. If you are regular viewers, please, let me know. But Abe the Champ pulled it off. He picked Arizona for one and picked Michigan for the other. So he was going to get one of them right at the end. But that is it. So if he's willing to come on and have some conversations and want to talk about what they have going on down the road, I might entertain that for a short bit. But we'll see. Don't want to spend too much time talking about, the other school. All right, so let's get back to our team, okay? So, Gainey is looking like he's going to pull some of his guys from Tennessee, which I'm okay with, right? I mean, because it's not like they weren't better than us. So it's like, okay, you're going to pull some guys that know your system that are tough. And that's okay with me. As for the guys that, and we'll get into those guys here in a little bit, but the guys that we are seeing going to the portal is kind of predicted right now. I don't think we've having any surprises. You got Abel, of course. Nobody wanted to see that happen. He did leave the door open, saying that he could come back if we can convince him to do so. But I'm really not into overpaying for potential upside, right? Like I'm hoping we don't go into this like, overpaying for guys because we think they're going to be good. I'd much rather pay for something proven. Somebody just actually put up the numbers. I don't want to deal with any maybe guys. Let's put it that way. So, with Abel, if he's demanding a bag that is going to push us to an uncomfortable level, let him go. I'm cool with that. Now, Paul, on the other hand, I think we need to pay Paul off just the loyalty alone. If he's willing to stay through 3 coaches, give my man that money, right? Like, let him stay homegrown. It's cool. He's really the only one off this team that I'm like, yo, we need to pay him. The rest of these guys, they can go. Even, Cole Clore, like, the fact he's even entertaining putting his name in has me a little like, why are we doing that? Why not just say, look, all right, coach, I'm going to ride with you, see what you can do for me and then jump ship. So with him, if he want to roll out, hey, that's fine. whatever. But he also left the door open to potentially return. So then you have Jamie went in, Kantuniemi or whatever his name is. I forget how to say it, but I don't know what to expect from him, so I'm cool with that. Colt is in, which makes sense for him because there's no way he was going to play on a team that's about to come in. Not with the bigger NIL budget. He was getting zero burn. So, so far it's like, I don't think we really lost anything that I'm really concerned about. I don't know about y'all. Let me know if you're concerned about who's went in already. Let's see what you all are asking early. So, yeah, let's talk about some of these guys that, we are hearing about. So, David brought up Hines, the big center from Seton Hall. Saw Hines in person. When we played Seton Hall, yes. And, it's a backyard guy. Bring him back home. We need bigs. He's not one that really demands the ball. You don't have to run an offense through him. He can go get it off the boards, which is perfect if you're going to have McNeil out there chucking up threes. And any other shooter we might get. So, yeah. Now, pair him with somebody like Juke from Wake Forest. I like it. Like, we keep Paul, we get Juke, and you got old boy down there just taking up space. I think he's like 265, 6'10", 265, something crazy like that. Yeah, I like that. So I got my fingers crossed that we can bring that guy back home, let him play in his backyard. That would be cool. We'll see how that plays out. Pat says Coach Gary joining the staff would be good. That would be phenomenal news. I have not spoken to Gainey. Hopefully I get a conversation with him before the summertime. We'll see, how that goes. We sort of missed each other by like a year or two at State, but we do have mutual circles. So we'll see. Let's see. Steven asked, Juke is worthy if you ask me. So look, when you say worthy, I'm assuming you're talking about paying him. I'm in with you on that. If they're talking about Juke wanting $3 million, give it to him. Give him the $3 million. I think he's worth that. I've seen him put Wake Forest on his back. On our team, he would not have to do that. He's very versatile. He can run the point. He can play 2, 3. I mean, 6'7". So he's pretty much a 6'7" guard. Athletic. Pretty sure, is what Gainey would want, a long athletic guard. Pay him. He's shown me nothing from year 1 to year 2, such a huge jump. He hasn't shown me anything that says do not pay this guy. So if he's asking $3 million, pay him $3 million. Because I would hate for us to be like, no, we don't want to pay him. He goes somewhere else. And then we end up paying somebody else $3 million that's not even on his level. Right? You know what he's going to bring to the table. Pay that man. PLS says NIL has players moving around a lot. I agree. If Paul is willing to stay, pay him. Absolutely. Let's pay him. Steven says add Australia to the wish list as well. So yeah, I like him. He's versatile. He can play pretty much just a big, whether you want to have it another big or playing the 5 or the 4. I think he's about 6'10" or something like that. So that works. Again, somebody that is familiar with what Gainey wants to do. And, I like those type of guys. It's like sort of like when Copeland came over, right? It helps out. It helps the new guys. They can be an extension of the coach. Helps people, learn quicker. So that's a plus. So let me go ahead and tell y'all, I got a wish list for my whole sort of portal haul, okay? I'm ready to just tell you. We're going to go through a real quick here. So for me, and we're going to play with some numbers. Y'all let me know if the numbers don't work out. I'm working with about best case scenario 14 mil, right? So we got Juke, like I said, give him the 3 million. Okay. Then if we have to pay Paul, okay, cool. I'm here. We might have lowball Paul because we think he wants to stay near home. Hope that's not the case. But I'm gonna say we give Paul 2 mil. All right. If he's in his feelings because he's not getting what Juke getting, it's levels to this. He's not really on Juke's level overall. Like he can just do a little bit more than Paul can. I mean, he handles the ball, go to the rim, shoot it. I mean, Paul's got some stuff to work on before he can command that type of money. But we're gonna see. If he wants the 3, cool, we make it work, but hopefully he'll be cool with the 2. Next, for me, there's a point guard by the name of Terrence Hill Jr. from VCU. I would like to add him. I like his style. I think he'd be able to fit with what Gainey wants to do. That would put him, I'm saying worst case scenario, 2 mil for him. He's probably not going to be that much, but you never know. Then you got Najee Hines, another 2 mil for him. And then you got, I know everybody is talking about, JP Australia. My guy is Donnie Freeman. And if you've been listening to me for a few months, in the middle of the season, we had played Syracuse, and I was like, look, I like Donnie Freeman. Hopefully he transfers. And he is in the portal. And of all the guys in the portal, that's like my second favorite. There's Juke, and then there's Donnie Freeman. Now, I keep going back and forth. We did this with Keys. When you take guys from losing teams, it don't always pan out well, right? No matter how talented they are. So I'm concerned about getting guys that came from losing teams because I don't want them to bring this loser mentality and that mess, like taint what our team is doing. But those 2 guys, I just like them. Like Donnie Freeman is just a very good player. He averaged like 16 points a game as a sophomore. And he's not just bouncing around. He spent 2 years at Syracuse trying to get him time to get it right. So then they changed coaches on him, and it's like, all right, let me roll out. So I can understand that. So that's my starting 5. It's pretty much 3 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil. So 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 11. Pretty much right there almost. Like I would spend majority of my money there and then get me a 6th man that's a mid-major big, a 7th man that's a mid-major forward, and then 8 being a mid-major guard. And then the rest of these people is just other people in the portal. And you pay them what's left over. Like they probably don't need a lot of burn anyway. They could be development guys, projects, people that we see being long-term, and they may end up, transferring anyway. So I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in that. But we got the funds. Go heavy on your starters, right? 3 mil is not a lot considering where our NIL is at or where it's supposed to be at. And you can't take it with you. You got to go ahead and spend this money. So hopefully we get on that. So that's real quick. Now, I do want to address, I know there's some names out there. Like, let's assume Paul decides he wants to roll out for some reason. Hopefully he doesn't do that. But if he does, my substitute for him would be a guy by the name of Stefan Vox. One of y'all had me look into him. I like his game. And he seems like a semi-Paul upgrade. Like he looks pro ready. Probably won't make it to the pros, but he's going to play high-level basketball after he gets out of college. So I like him. And then for Hines, if we don't get him, there is the guy I'm seeing floating around from Georgia, the center. It's like Somto or something like that. I've watched some of his stuff, and I'm like, but I'm hearing he may go to another SEC school, so that might not even be an option. Hines, I feel, is like our best bet for a decent big so far. So we'll see how that plays out. Another thing with JP, Australia, him and Donnie Freeman, I know that Australia is more versatile in being able to play the center spot. Donnie is not. he's probably going to be a power forward or a small forward. He's not playing center. So there's that. Let me see what we got going on here. So David says, people talking about Dennis Parker Jr. from the portal. He was a ham and egger when he was here. Don't want him. A ham and egger. That's tough. Listen, Dennis Parker, I saw flashes when he was here, okay? And then last year, he did give Carolina that work. He had like 20-something on them. He was causing all types of problems. But you're right. I don't need to spin the block and get old players. Like, I don't need anybody coming back that left us. I'm cool on that. Let's go somewhere else. So David, yeah, Scalupa, whatever, from Pitt. I know he's in the portal. I haven't heard any rumblings of us being in the mix, though. Have you all? Like, I want him, but I ain't heard much. So I sort of like put that out of my mind. But if he comes back around and I see something about it, that's going to be perfect. Musa should go to LSU or take a pay cut to stay at NC. Absolutely not taking a pay cut. He can go to LSU. I do not want Musa on this next team. The way he quit in games was so much like Wade quitting on us. I don't want any parts of that around our program. My man was faking injuries, and then he just couldn't get right. He didn't get better throughout the season. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to dislike Musa that much, but of all the players, I probably want him not to come back the most. Yeah, I'm done with him. I need him to go ahead and get in the portal. I've been looking for his name all day. I don't know what's taking so long. James says, you're right, though. Don't need to pay projects too much. The really don't give you anything. Exactly. Maybe 100,000. I mean, you should be able to get that for the low. And just go get some big bodies. You can just go get some big, tall dudes that, are just pieces just in case somebody get in foul trouble. But yeah, I don't think we need to try to go get 10 starters, right? Like Michigan claimed they had 10 guys that were starter level. Nah, we don't need that. Just give me 7 or 8. And then the rest of them they can be walk-ons for all I care. Like, they really don't have to be that great. But, yeah, you get my point. Steven says, I'd take Parker back, probably scooping for the cheap. Maybe you could get him and Hines for $2 million. Listen, I'm not spending the block on Parker, okay? And the way that he balled out at his last school, he's probably thinking he's worth more than what he really is. Because he had a pretty decent year. Scored, 20-something a few times. Like, yeah, nah, I'm good on that. He can stay where he's at. This is funny. MK says, bring DJ Burns back. Does he still have eligibility left? Believe me, if he did, he would be back. But nah, we can't get that guy back, unfortunately. That ship has sailed, which sucks. Absolutely terrible. Oh, I wish. Let's see. Jonathan, where you been? Where you been? We ain't seen you in a while. It's going all right, man. So I hear it's us against UNC for Juke right now. I hear that. And so look, I've seen some posts about their freshmen coming in, potentially decommitting, but then people saying that was false. If they've got that guy coming in, and they already have 2 other All-Americans that are about to be in the mix, freshmen coming in. Juke needs to come. He needs to come over here. Like his, I don't want to say personality because I don't know his personality, but his approach to basketball seems more of a fit for us, right, than Carolina. Like I don't think that you go to Carolina after being at Wake Forest. Like I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm just hoping we have the edge. We will see, though. That would be not a good look if he went down the street. Let's just put it that way. Oh, Steven says, I was speaking of Trey Parker, not Dennis. Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm not interested in Trey Parker either. I'll tell you why. Super athletic, right? But he struggled against us at the beginning of the year in Maui. Turnover prone. He's a small guard. I don't like small guards. And for him to be a small guard, he's not doing enough to overcompensate for that. For me to be like, you know what? Yeah, he's small, but he does this, 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 and this. Nah, he's just out there small. He might get you a highlight every now and then. So not really a fan of bringing Trey Parker back. But thank you for clarifying. David says, Juke mother's an NC State grad. Listen, if he values his mother's opinion, there should be no way that he goes to Carolina. She should let him know, look, you got to go up the road. Even though we tried to get him last time and he chose not to show up. And I'm wondering, what was the problem then? Was it the money? Because let's see, NIL was around. He's only a sophomore. He's going into his junior year. It could have been that we didn't offer him enough money. It could have been who was on the team at the time. I guess that would have been DJ Horn and Burns. Yeah. No. Yeah, they were. No, that was after them. So I don't know. There's nothing that makes sense on why he wouldn't come the first time around with your mother being a graduate. Other than maybe you just didn't like Keats. So that's interesting. But look, I mean, there are some guys in the portal that hopefully this stuff starts real soon. Come Thursday, we start seeing some visits or whatnot. Hines, I'm thinking, has to come back home. Like, why not? Hines and Juke should be very early ads. And then, of course, there's the point guard from Tennessee that's trying to come over potentially. It's a lot of rumors about his name. I've seen some highlights, but I guess the positive is when you get somebody that already knows how to play defense, you can work on their offensive game. And so that's a plus, right? A lot of times the NBA drafts that way. They're like, look, if you play defense, we can fix some of the other stuff. So that's a positive. He's coming to a school where the coach is going to be talking about defense. He's already played in it. Yeah, but do I want a more polished guard? I do, but I understand if we end up going that route. It's cool. I could definitely see UNC throwing a bag at you. Listen, at what point do we just say, look, we're gonna try to compete and throw our own bag? Right? Like, I feel that we've got to find a fine line between not overpaying and paying. And I feel like we're trying to balance the money out too much. Pay for you some studs, and then just don't have a deep team. So I'm interested to see if Gandy's going to approach it like that, or does he want a lot of interchangeable parts, right? Like, I need a strong five, coach. A strong five. These kids can run all day. A strong five and get you some breather men if you need them. that's all you need. The rotation gonna get short throughout the season anyway. It just sucks to pay somebody $500,000 to be sitting on the bench getting zero burn. That's what I really don't want to do. David says Juke, McNeil, Boswell, stellar backcourt. I like it. You know, like I said, the Boswell kid, I mean, he's got potential. So I can't really say much about him, what he's going to bring offensively. But if you've got Juke and McNeil, you really don't need him to do much, but play defense and get them to rock. That's it. I'm hoping that McNeil doesn't have an issue with Juke being brought in. That would suck if we were like, all right, boom, we got Juke, and then McNeil's like, yeah, I'm out because we got him, right? I think that would not be good if he's thinking like, oh, now I'm not the man or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. And Paul doesn't seem to have that type of mentality. I mean, he wasn't even aggressive at chasing his shot, so we'll see how it plays out. All right, so I'm caught up on all of your comments. So yeah, so each day, you know, I'm watching. I will jump on here and try to let you all tell me what you're hearing. If there's people that we have not talked about, please let me know. You know, we could definitely get into that because I didn't have like a set agenda tonight. I just wanted to chime in and see what you all had heard and maybe I hadn't heard, but it seems we all are talking about the same people, which I guess is good. We're just waiting for the dominoes to start dropping. Johnson has something here. Let's see. Boswell is a combo guard. We need to bring a true point guard to back him up. We go with Boswell. Yeah. And then David says point guard from Hostra. I forget even how to say that. I'm not even going to try. Y'all see what it is. 16 points per contest, 2 years eligible. I've heard about the point guard. So I don't really like getting point guards from some of these mid-majors. Not saying they can't be successful, but it's just not my thing. I hope we get a point guard that's played at the P4 level. And I hope we get a point guard that is taller. I really don't want a small guard, but we'll see. Like if you're under 6'2", you better be lightning quick. So we will see how that plays out. Yeah, I thought he was about 6'1", David. Do we know who is going to stay? We do not. We just don't know. We're hoping Paul and we're hoping Wilkins. And I think outside of that, everybody else may be on the move. Like, I will say this. I have not seen Terrence Arsenal going to the portal yet. Have y'all? I was looking and I'm like, I don't see him and I haven't seen any notification. I wouldn't mind if that happened. like I said, I'm not married to him being back, but I haven't seen it yet. I thought that'd be one of the first names in today. So that is surprising. I thought we'd see him in, we'd see Musa in, we'd see Ding in. I haven't seen those names pop up. Who else we have? Colt's gone, Abel potentially gone, Cole potentially gone, and Jamie gone. So that pretty much is going to be everybody. No OTA. He's about to have a baby. It'll be smart for him to try to stay for someone's stability for his kid. If we get him for cheaper, I would keep him. So I know about the whole kid situation. If you can get him for cheap, cool. Or shall I say for less, cool. But y'all feel like I just want to wash our hands of all Wade's commits, really? That's how I'm sort of feeling. Like, I don't know. It's just a bad taste left in my mouth. And he's just one of those. And he was so inconsistent. I'm just like, maybe, Gainey could bring something different out of him. It's not what I'm in favor of. I'm not going to tell him no. Like Musa tried to come back. I'm like, no, bye. Pack up your apartment. You need to get your transcript and get missing because this is not for you. You need to go play at UNC Charlotte or something. This is not for you, sir. What else? David says the speed. They compare speed to Cat Barber. Okay. Wilfredo was go. Yeah, I hear you. Would you take Musa as the third big? Oh, Jonathan, listen. I would, but I would not want to. Okay? I'm going to put it to you like this. If I had all my money spent and this guy was like, look, I just want to come back for whatever you got left for a walk on just because I'm grateful to be here at NC State. Cool. Appreciate you. But if he came back asking for any money, absolutely not. I wouldn't even want him as a third big. Like, I don't like his mentality at this point. And it says something that you did not get better all year. He didn't improve in anything. Like, he kept fouling. He couldn't rebound. He couldn't catch the ball on a pick and roll. Like, he didn't improve on anything. I didn't see him gain weight. He ain't gain any muscles. He ain't lose weight. Like, he was just there. If you take a photo from the first game to the last game, he looked exactly the same. He was doing the same stuff from game 1 to game 2. He actually played better early on, where people was like, oh, when he catches on, it's going to be great. I'm not a Musa fan, which is crazy because I wanted him to play two bigs for the longest during the season. And then I started seeing how he's playing. I'm like, you can't put that man in the game. No, he's going to mess up so bad. And it's going to frustrate you. You're going to pull your hair out, watch him just do silly stuff, and then beg to come out of the game for the most part, or fake an injury. David says, Moose can't stand on 2 feet, concrete pillars for hands. That's very accurate. I swear, y'all, it was not that bad to start the season. Okay? Think about it. It was not that bad. Musa was decent. He was very decent. What happened? How did he go from having this potential and everybody talking about, oh, he's going to play some more minutes, to just being a straight liability? Tall, couldn't block any shots. He was a liability on defense. Yeah, I don't know. He's a frustrating one. I don't even want to know how much NIL we gave him. Was there taking up space and getting a free paycheck? Absolutely. We might as well get every Tennessee player we can get. NC State Vols. Listen, hey, the way they were playing, I'm cool with that. Yeah, scoop them all up. That is interesting, though. All of they're like 7, 8 players have jumped in the portal already from that team. And it was player getting minutes. So I don't know what they got going on over there. If they just love Gainey that much, that is wow. Very, very wow. But I will tell you, what is exciting is if Gainey does such a great job finding gems, that means there's somebody in the portal we're not even talking about that he's going to hit on that's going to be a beast for us, right? It's going to be guys, and even next year's recruiting class, we're now going to start getting some players that everybody not talking about and overlooking. They can be stars. I mean, the skill to be able to evaluate players at a high level is impressive, right? To be able to do that consistently. So definitely looking forward to that, because that makes me feel like, all right, if we miss on some guys in the portal, that we should be all right, because he'll find a way to make it up. Now I will tell you, with us having top 5 NIL in the ACC, I don't see how we gonna miss out on a bunch of people. Like, I feel like we got to hit big. The money's there. If the coach is the relationship builder, a recruiter that he's getting credit for, and we have contributed the NIL that we need to, why would we not hit at a high level? We should get some bangers that everybody's excited about off just the money alone. And then let's not even talk about people that want to stay close to home. Like, yeah, I'm not going to get too hype, because I'm going to temper my expectations, because I'm not ready to get my heart broke yet. But I mean, the math is the math. It just makes sense that we would be able to get a lot of the players that we want, especially our priorities, the people that we're really, really putting pressure on. All right, we have a couple people in here. Paul deserves a bit of a raise, but don't overpay for him. If you think his game will grow, be a similar Williams situation. He's one-dimensional, which is fine, but don't overpay. So Bradley, we talked about, Paul and what he might be asking for. We did address that Juke Harris is probably going, and if we were to get him, would probably be the most we would pay for a player, around $3 million or so, right? If Paul wanted that amount, I think that would be overpaying for him, because you're right. All he does is shoot threes. He's got to work on his handle. He's got to get a mid-range. He's got to get either a floater or work on finishing at the rim, and his defense is atrocious. But I would give him the overpay just off of loyalty. Consider it like a loyalty fee. Right? That's what I would call it. Like, I'm not paying you this because you're actually worth it, or even for the potential. I'm giving it to you because you've been rocking with us through 3 coaches. To me, that says a lot. And I think he's good enough that it's not too much of an overpay. But for me, that says a lot. For this dude to be like, look, I like being near home. I like NC State. I'm going to stay loyal to them. It's the colors for me, not the coach. All right, here go a little, another 500. That's fine. Just make sure you kick that back when you start making money in the pros. Oh, Jonathan, I did do my 1 through 5 that I want to see next year, but I'll go over it real quick for everybody who's getting in, because it's a lot of you that weren't here when I started out. So my 1 through 5, at point, I want Terrence Hill Jr. for VCU. Shooting guard, Paul McNeil. If not Paul McNeil, then we do the Stephen Vox. It's Vaaks. I don't know how to say his name. Put Juke Harris at small forward. Give me Donnie Freeman at power forward from Syracuse. I know we probably have a better chance with JP Estrella from Tennessee. I'm cool with that too. And then my center is Najee Hines. and that's my starting five. I'm being realistic. If we go get that starting five, we might be sitting around 11 mil just with the starting five. And that's okay because everybody coming off the bench is going to make over $1 million. So we should still be within budget if we went that route. That's what I would do. Brother says, True Paul is a hard worker. Absolutely. Very hard worker. James says, at least our coach is a state grad and wants to be here. That puts us light years ahead of the previous coach. Justin will get it going. Trust in Justin. Absolutely. I don't think at this point, let me rephrase that. I think at this point, the unknown is the issue for Pack fans. We just don't know. What we do know is our coach isn't going to run off on us. That's enough for right now. Okay? We know that we're not going to shortchange him NIL and hit him with some crazy budget where he can't be competitive. So we're going to be competitive NIL. We know that. And we know that he's going to emphasize defense. We don't know is who's going to be on the team, what his offensive structure is going to be like, who his assistants are going to be, and that's that we're eager to find out. Like every day I'm waiting to see like, oh, who'd he hire? Right now he's got like one assistant, which was the player development guy that came over from Tennessee, but nobody else just yet. So we got to be patient and wait. As the names drop, I'm definitely going to talk to y'all about it and see how you feel. We'll cover these people and see if we can get an idea of what the offensive identity is going to be. But yeah, it's just the unknown. We just don't know what he's going to do. Jonathan, I'm going to answer this just because of your loyalty to the channel, okay? I told everybody I wasn't talking about Carolina like that, but I'm going to answer this. So my thoughts on the UNC coach. Malone was fired from 2 jobs because of his dealings with upper-level management or whatever, right? I personally think he got an attitude problem. Not that he's not, I think he's a phenomenal coach, and he's probably about to be a beast coaching on the court. I don't know anything about how he's going to be as a recruiter or how he deals with, personalities and all that stuff. But Carolina people are, especially the upper level ones, are fickle, and they want stuff done their way, right? And there's a lot of people in, leadership positions that are that way. So I'm wondering, whenever they're telling him he needs to go to fundraise and go to this banquet, is it going to be a problem when they want stuff done a certain way? Does he fit that? I don't know. It's the only thing that I'm wondering about. Aside from that, his connections to the NBA and the fact that he's coached the Joker, and that may be, a big deal. But I don't know. And another part is I thought he was really old. He's only 54. He looks old, but he's only 54. So he's a younger coach compared to what they normally go after. So it could work, but I'm not really pressed. Like, I'd been more concerned if they got like Billy Donovan or somebody like that. Somebody that like knows college basketball, even though he's been out of it for a while. That would have been more concerning. This hire doesn't really concern me just yet. David says, I like having a blank canvas to build a roster, project laden that it may be. It sounds fun, but it's fun now from the beginning. But once these jokers start falling off the board, then it's going to be like, uh-oh. So, yeah, I think it's fun from the jump when nobody's really went anywhere. But as my targets get going, I'm going to be like, yikes. Then you start thinking about what your team going to look like next year because of your limitations. And let's not say that we think we're top 5 in the ACC NIL, and then you find out that you're like more like 8, 9, and guys are spending like crazy, and we're not even where we thought we were at, yeah, that would suck. So the rebuild, Yeah, it was Gus who brought up Stefan. Yes, thank you, Gus. I put him in my top 5. I took a look at him, and yeah, you're right. He's a hooper. He's a hooper. He's got a quick release. Very good shoot off the dribble. He's got more to his game than Paul McNeil does right now. May not have the ceiling that Paul has, all the potential, but everything else is there. So yeah, I'm cool with him as an option. Fact, in the coming years, we have to have a few players stay. It's hard trying to turn it over every year. You're right. Yep, Bradley, just want a big front court, 4 spot, at least 6'8" 8.5 spot. Oh, 6'8", 5 spot, 6'10" or taller. Yeah, Bradley, I agree. I mean, Gainey says we're going to be bigger. He wants to be a bigger team. So I would assume that we would have a few dudes that are above that height, and especially playing at the same time. So small ball, we had 2 coaches that took an approach at that small ball. Keith was a small ball coach. Wade came over trying to play that small ball. That might be the end of that, which is good. To help us be more competitive in the ACC. It's just not the conference to try that in. David says, get your projects in there and coach them up. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If Gainey preaches, player development, you brought the player development guy over as an assistant. So I would assume that players are going to get better. So you can take, a gamble on some guys as long as you just don't pay them like crazy, right? Pay them as what they are. Your project, you can get project money. Don't be paying somebody millions that isn't there yet just to sit on the bench. Give them that little bit of change, give them a meal plan or whatever little scholarship to go to school. But hey, you got to earn it NIL. I don't want to just be giving NIL for no reason. Name, image, and likeness, and nobody knows your name. Yeah, I don't want any of that. John says, give me some 7-footers, man. We just saw what won the title. Michigan had 2 guys who could do work down low in the start lineup. UConn had the big and the small ball 4. Michigan won the boards. Yeah, you're right. We need 7-footers. I'm not a big guy wanting 2 bigs in at one time, but if your 7-footer is functional and can play the stretch 4, I'm with it. Right? If he can, dribble a little bit, shoot a mid-range, even shoot the 3, playing the 4, even the 5. If you get 5 7-footers that can do everything, cool. Right? We got some Wimbies out there, whatever. Fine. I just don't want 2 guys that are limited that are clogging the paint. So as long as one can create some space, that'll work out for me. David says, rather have a project-laden roster than McDonald's All-American. Show your true coaching abilities. Now, okay, let's pump our brakes a little bit, okay? As I like to say, you got too much dip on your chip. I would not like this. I'd much rather have McDonald's All-Americans than a team of projects. Okay, with the McDonald's All-Americans, the projects will get better over time in practice. They're going to, be getting their butt kicked in practice. I don't want a bunch of projects because that's going to be, you're going to be losing. You need the All-Americans. They're All Americans for a reason. So we're gonna go All Americans over projects. Get you a bunch of All Americans, couple projects, and maybe one of the projects pans out because he's getting his butt whooped in practice every day against his All American. Jonathan says, give me defensive rebounding that will play no matter what. Hear you? Bradley, I agree. You have to spend big money on something. Yep, absolutely. We got to spend that money. Got to spend that money. We cannot be cheap. We can't be cheap. We made all this fuss about, NIL, and then finally people are contributing, and now we're puffing our chests out a little bit saying, look, we're going to be more competitive than we were last year. We got more than we had last year. We got a new coach and want to be here. Okay, my guy want to be here. He's got to have, and he has pride in his university. We have to go get these people. We cannot be scared to spend. We can't be like, having that NC State mentality. Like, I know you want to get some gems, but go after some of these stars, right? Go get a star, and then the hidden gem you can get later on, and it'd be like, oh man, we got him for the low. We didn't even know he was gonna be this good. Cool, but pay for that guy we know can put in work. Like, that's what I want to happen. James says, look at Duke with all the Mickey D players, always good, but never good enough to win it all. Choke artists. Yeah, listen. So the problem with that is, Shire does not handle I wouldn't say in-game adjustments, but it is sort of that, because he loses these big leads. He's not managing the game well at all. And then once the game gets close, it's pretty much a wrap. I don't know how many close games he's won, but it doesn't seem like many. Everyone that I watch, they end up losing. And it's normally his fault. So that is coaching. But like you said, you win all these games. If you can coach a little bit and know when to take over and reel these players in, that would be a positive. Now, the common theme with all his teams is they're kids, like freshmen, right? You need a mix of some grown men to win a championship. You need some dudes that didn't just go to the prom last year on your team. If everybody was at the prom and everybody's doing TikTok as soon as they get out of practice, like dancing in the locker room, they probably gonna struggle in a high pressure moment like that. You need your old head, a few old heads mixed in with that, especially ones that are not just on the roster on the bench, but are in the game and get minutes. That's what he's missing at Duke. And until he gets that, you're gonna keep running into that hurdle. He's got to get him some older players that play major minutes for him. It says, let's see. Look at Duke getting their tails kicked by project-laden teams all the time in the tournament. I don't know about project-laden teams. Like they might be getting beat, but these teams are not projects. They have pretty good players on their teams too. What's up, Bob? Like you just getting in here? So look, I'm asking y'all, what do you want to hear about this week? Like, what are you watching for? What's your, what's the first thing that you want to happen? Is it a commitment from a player, or are you looking for assistance? Like, what's your take? Because for me, I would feel better about hearing about an assistant soon than a player. I'll tell you why. Right now, I feel like Gainey can only be in but so many places at once, right? It's him and maybe one other guy, and I don't know how much he has put on the other guy's plate. I know Patrick Stacey's still around. But I'm like, get you some assistance so we can really get this thing moving before I start seeing names just, popping up. Now I won't complain if Juke comes up first, but I'm just saying I think that's what I'm looking for. James, you got an interesting one here. Let me read. Okay, so James says John Schumer. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or if you just spelled his name wrong. Is like Clack K. Duke should have at least 10 championships. Way overrated. That's a fact. Yeah, well, so I'm not going to go on the record saying that he is overrated. What I will say, Jon Scheyer he seems to be a phenomenal recruiter. Okay. Now, is he a phenomenal recruiter, or is Duke just paying players that much that no matter who is the coach, they're going to go, right? This dude hasn't had a fall off at all. His recruiting classes are number 1 or 2 every single year. He's getting the best player in every class. And I know it's Duke, but before it was like, oh, you want to play for Coach K. Coach K is gone, and it's no drop off at all. So I don't know what it is, but he is winning 30-something games every year. So maybe we could call him overrated if he left and went to another school and didn't do well, which we know he's not going to do, or if he went to the NBA and struggled, then we'd be like, yeah, he's overrated. But right now, I can't say that. Let's see. Dave says Connecticut roster built with a mixture of some Mickey D players, but predominantly projects for the most part. Good way to build a roster. Duke brand recruits itself. Yeah, it does. And yeah, that's a perfect way. Get you some McDonald's All-Americans and get you some guys that's going to be in college for a few years that will be good by their junior, senior year. And constantly bring in McDonald's All-Americans as they one and done and leave. Perfect recipe to win championships. Because those guys that stay later are what Jon Scheyer is missing. Right? I mean, he had it in Caleb Foster. I know he got hurt a little bit. So that's probably the closest thing because he'll be a senior next year. So you'll have him on ball with the new freshman coming in. Next year could be the year. Bob says Juke is going to cost too much. We ain't getting him. Bob, we discussed Juke, and I'm like, pay him. What's too much? If he's asking for $3 million, we give him $3 million. If he's asking for $4 million, we think about it, and we give him $4 million. Like, he's one of the top people in the portal. You give him the bread, and then you work your way from there. Like, he's proven it's not, oh, potentially he may be okay. No, the dude is good. Give him the money. James says UConn has a Hall of Fame coach in waiting. He's got the most out of his talent. This team that lost last night was not the best team and still made the Final Four. Yeah, they got lucky getting to the Final Four, but yeah, you're right. I think he can coach his butt off. He can coach his butt off. His players improve. And that's just what we need. Yo. We need Gainey to get the most out of the players that he brings in. If he does that, we'll be just fine. especially if he's able to manage to pull a lot of these guys from North Carolina, from the state of North Carolina. If he's able to do that, we'll be fine. So hopefully guys stay in our program and develop. Bob, what is this? Let's see. Bland LT, totally one-dimensional player. He can't play D, can't attack the rim. He has a weak mid-range game. Who are we talking about? I need you to clarify who this is, Bob. I'll come back to this. Has a weak mid-range game and can't attack the rim? I don't know who you're speaking about. David says Caleb Foster could be the odd guard out next year. Would you want him? Okay. I've had this conversation with my best friend about Caleb Foster. All right. So my guy is a Carolina fan. We talk basketball almost every day. And at the beginning of the year, we were like, Duke, and, we talked about who they had. Caleb Foster is underrated. I'm telling you that now. That guy will start. He will not be the odd man out next season. He is the best guard that they have on their team. Mark my word. If he leaves, man, that is a huge blow. Rippy may have, better pro potential, more athletic. He is not better than Caleb Foster is right now. So, to answer your question, would I want him? Absolutely. He would, yes. I would take him. The way that he's a pass first point guard, and he's stronger than he looks. He plays bully ball most of the time. And he's smart with the basketball. He can hit an open shot. Caleb Foster, I'm not a Duke fan, but I'm a fan of his. Like, I like his game. Because he's not the quickest guy, but yet he's not a liability on defense. Like I said, he's super, super strong. And it's the one thing that has me like Rippy might be the odd man out next year, because the Boozer twin is still going to be there unless he hits the portal, which I doubt, with that being his dad's alma mater. So you're going to have him and Caleb. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Here we go. All right, so Corey, Pack Power, all right, said NC State conducted a Zoom meeting with Bishop Boswell earlier today. Both Gainey and Riley Collins were on a call. He has a great relationship with both. I expected him to take a visit. Yeah, and Tennessee boards are saying that they expect him to come here as well. So I see that visit happening, and I'm interested on why the Zoom call was needed, right? Those are your former coaches. You really know what they're going to be talking about. There's much more. That could have been a text. Hey, when you coming through, right? Like, what date you going to come through? You can start Friday. You coming Friday? Okay, cool. So that's interesting. Paul McNeil Jr. has a limit on his value. Okay, we talking about Paul. He can't play D, too skinny, gets pushed off his line too easily, can't attack the rim, has no mid-range game. He's pretty good rebounder at times. Right. And so I agree. Paul has a lot of limitations to his game that's causing him not to be able to take the next step to go to the NBA. All of those things are right. However, they're all repairable, right? If you get a coach that is like, look, we're going to be good at playing defense, he can help him learn how to play better D. Too skinny, he can get in the weight room. He can put on some weight. He's got the body that he should be able to hold a little bit more weight. Okay? That would help with him being pushed off his line too easily. The attacking the rim, Easy fix. If over the summer he work on head fake, get to the rim. Also, with him gaining weight, that's gonna make it a lot easier, and he's gonna have more confidence going in there like that. The mid range, he's a shooter. That should be an easy fix. He's just mentally got to get to where he's like, look, enough reps, pump fake, pull up, and get that taken care of. Like, there's no excuse for him to not have a mid range game. I don't know what's going on there. Like you say, he's a pretty good rebounder. So all those concerns and things that are hurting his value can be fixed. There's potential there. So I can see people wanting to pay him for the potential of, if he added that to his game, his stock soars. Now, this one, Jonathan, I also hear we're working on a Zoom call with Najee Hines. That one, okay, cool. Let's get that one going, because he doesn't know us like that. He knows NC State. We just need to get him back home, take care of that. Bradley says, Harris already established he can be the top dog, not at risk like Williams. Exactly. That's why I say pay him, pay him, pay him. If that man want top dog money, pay him. Because he could definitely be that guy. And on a team that's going to be better than Wake, he won't have to worry about all that attention. He'll have freedom of movement and being able to have some spacing. Listen, pay that man. If I hear that we missed out on him because of some money, it's going to be crazy. Like, let it be because he just didn't want to come, but don't be because our offer was just weak. That's going to piss me off. David, this part right here, Rippy should have came to state. Listen, maybe Rippy was like, look, I don't like how you moving, coach. Talking about Wade. Like, it's something about you that's just not genuine. Maybe he's a good read of people. Maybe his parents a good read of people. I'm not even gonna blame that guy for not coming. Right? Like, maybe he even told him, like, look, I wanted you to come through, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be here next year. Things aren't what I thought they were. Maybe he told him something, but Rippy being where he's at, okay, it's cool. Now, I do believe he can be sitting on that bench a lot like, man, I wish I was playing more. Because I don't think he thought Caleb Foster was going to be as good as he is. And the Boozer twin started playing a lot better down the stretch when Foster got hurt. So it showed you got two decent guards right there. He's definitely going to be in line. Just waiting. What's up, Eddie? Hope all is well with you. Let's see. We'd love to get our opinions finalized soon as assistant and get his son in here and the other Ole Miss player in the portal. So my understanding is that ship has sailed and that his son is returning back to Ole Miss. So we're not getting either one of those. And I think the other player is probably like James Scott or something like that you may be referring to. I mean, there's potential there, but yeah, we're out on Pinkins and his son, from my understanding. I hear Caden may go to Miami. Oh, I had not heard anything about that. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. So if that happens, then Rippy's all right. Then it's a smart move. He's still not starting over Foster, but that opens up some minutes if that happens. James says Will Wade was like that old OJ song. His body was here, but his mind was on the other side of town, meaning Baton Rouge and LSU. He didn't bother to teach any defense. The state, let's see, he checked out. Yeah, he checked out. I mean, I knew he was checked out when I was asking that dude questions, and he was just giving me the same crazy answer and then not doing anything he was talking about. I knew from then. I was like, he just talking, going through the motions. David says Purdue's roster was totally project laden, but they were old. Yeah, I mean, if you get a bunch of project dudes and they happen to stay around while you continue to get other talent, and then their senior year they're all good, yeah, you can get away with that. But you can't get away with starting out at the ground floor of these projects and there being a whole team of them. Nah, you get smacked on that. We're not going that route. Let's see. I think I got caught up on all of your comments here. Yeah, we're caught up. So yeah, I'm hoping Thursday is the day when they start taking visits. I guess Friday now, because I think it's like Thursday at midnight. So maybe that's when we start seeing things move around a little bit. I was really hoping that we would have actually had like one person just say, "Look, I'm coming with coach," already. Not that we were waiting for somebody out the portal, but like, for example, McNamara, he brought one of his players from his previous school to Syracuse like that. Dude committed today, right? Thought maybe would have got one of those from Tennessee, but doesn't seem like it. So it's cool. So at this point, make sure we get the right guy. Make sure we get the right guy. Oh, y'all still talking about Wade, huh? Yeah, I'm not giving that guy my energy. I refuse. I'd rather talk about Musa than him. Think about that. And y'all know I'm not even a Musa fan at this point. Jonathan says, I think we'll get Boswell first. So you think we'll get Boswell over even the potential forward that's in there? Australia, JP? I told y'all I wanted Donnie Freeman over JP, but if I can get JP for less, that'd be cool, just in case I do have to overpay for Juke. But Hines and Juke are like my two. And I'm like, look, those are the top two. I don't have any real substitution for those two, and those are the two I want. Once we get those two and keep Paul, the rest, I'm flexible. Like, that's just how I feel. I'm flexible with everybody else. I just need those two. If you want to preach to me that you're going to recruit North Carolina hard, you got to get those two. The start is the foundation. I want Lupa also, but David, I'm not saying that we're in the mix. So until I do, I'm not gonna get my hopes up on him. Not gonna get my hopes up on him. All right, Pack. I'm going to get off of here. We've been on here for a good bit. Like I said, I'm gonna pop on periodically as we go through the portal time here, especially when we get an announcement. I want to hear your thoughts and what you think about each one of these commitments. Make sure let your Pack family know that we're gonna be live and to chime in, give their 2 cents, just so we can keep a temperature to see how our whole family is feeling here. But please, like and subscribe. And until next time. Go Pack.